start with an opening statement from Coach, followed by questions.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, I'm really glad we're back in the win column. I mean, whether you win by 1 or 30 or 40, we need to win this basketball game, and ultimately that's what we did. So I'm excited for them, and I'm proud of them for that. Am I proud of like how it kind of played itself out down the stretch and in the fourth quarter? No, obviously that's frustrating. But at this point, with this team, we need to win basketball games, and we did that today. So we'll have to really have a conversation about the fourth quarter and slippage and letting things get loose and keeping things interesting all the time. You know, we've got to be a mature enough team to finish a game the way that we should, but I'm proud of them. We needed to win a basketball game, and we did that.
What was the energy like in the building today?
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. The kids were great. It's a different vibe. It's a different feel. I'm so appreciative of all the schools that took the time. It's a lot to get kids on a bus and get them out here and feed them and make sure they behave and do all those things. But I think these are memories for those kids that, you know, there's probably a couple of them that'll be wearing an Arizona jersey at some point, you know, in some sort of sport. So really cool environment. Appreciate, you know, marketing and all those guys for putting the effort in to make sure there was a ton of kids here today. So I'm really excited about the environment, and it was fun and it was energetic in a totally different way, which I know our players appreciated too.
And for both you and T, about her defense, she played 33 minutes without fouling and played some pretty good defense. What do you have to say about the way she's come along defensively? And then T, about how you play defense, what's important to you?
T gives us like length and athleticism on the perimeter that like we are going to be relying on heavily from this point forward, and we have so far this season. But you know, her ability to, you know, maybe take a bad angle and make up for it because she's so dang athletic. I tell her all the time, like, I would never be as athletic as her in 10 lifetimes, you know, but to be able to cover ground and make up for mistakes and do some of the things from an athleticism standpoint that she does. I think now what's coming along for T is like learning when to be solid, when to like chill out for a second, and when to be aggressive, because there's a time and place for both. Whereas I think at the beginning of the season, she was just trying to be aggressive at all times, and sometimes it was costing us on the backside of things. So she's just done a tremendous job just hanging in, staying poised, you know, making sure that when her time comes and her number's called, that she's ready to come in. Like, she didn't start the game today, but I'm sure she's happy with 33 minutes, right? That's what matters, who's on the floor at the end of the game.
And what's important to you as far as your development defensively, T?
Honestly, I feel like as far as my defense, I came a long way. You know, I've always been a good on-ball defender. I struggled in, like, as far as, like, being off the ball and helping my teammates. So I feel like I really improved in that over the time. I feel like one of the best things about my game is I play both sides of the ball. Like, yeah, I could put the ball in the basket, but one thing that I thrive off of is my defense. My defense leads to offense, not just for myself, but for my teammates as well.
For Lonnie, a couple games ago you had 9 turnovers. Today you had 0. With 8 assists, what have you been working on? What have you been trying to get better at in that regard?
I'm not working on anything. I mean, it's just there's some games I have bad ones and there's some games where I don't. I mean, if I just make reads and sometimes the ball gets through and sometimes it doesn't. I'm the type of point guard that threads the needle, and if the thread gets through the needle, then it does, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't. I just happen to be a good day today. Maybe it was the kids.
Kind of roll off what we were just talking about. You had, I think you tied your career high of 11 rebounds. Talk about a little bit how that works into your game too.
Like I had stated before, like, I played both sides of the ball today. It was an off night for me as far as, like, shooting. I had a lot of great looks. It just wasn't going in. So the biggest thing for me is, like, if one thing's not going my way, I make up for it in another category. So I'm not hitting shots, so I'm going to crash the boards as hard as I can. Start the transition, make sure my teammates are getting open. And these two right here, they was hot. So I did everything I could, you know, to get the board, get them the ball, you know, and just keep it going like that.
You guys had 26 points today in fast break points. How does pushing the pace allow you guys to set up the offense and help the offense move in transitions?
We're a much better team when we can get out in transition and we can push tempo and play fast and play in space. I mean, we're a pretty good team when we set up and we execute well too, but we know we want to guard well and we want to get out and play downhill and play fast. And I think with these three specifically, they love to do that. T and Lonnie getting downhill, touching the paint, Mickey spacing it or getting downhill. So my concern is more so like how many we gave up in transition, not how many we scored, because I think it's probably even, to say the least. So that was our bigger issue, was transition defense versus offense.
For anybody, free throws were obviously a point of emphasis for you guys over the last few days. 79.2% today, made 6 out of 7 in the last 2 minutes. What were you guys working on? How did that help you to put this game away?
I mean, I didn't shoot any, but I just think that comes down to you. Like, you have to go get your own shots up. You have to go get your own free throws up. And, you know, your teammates telling you, like, knock them down. Like, we were huddling. I told Lonnie, like, knock these down. These are important free throws. Like, you know, and that builds confidence, too. So it's really yourself and just confidence that your teammates have for you.
When you're in that position of, you know you have to hit those free throws at the end because the game is tight, what's going through your mind?
There's really nothing going through my mind. I mean, I shoot free throws every day. I probably shoot about 50 every day. Like, free throws it's a free shot, so there shouldn't really be any pressure. I don't have any feel or have any pressure when I'm up there. So, I mean, if I'm supposed to make the shot, I mean, I believe I'm going to make the shot. So, I mean, if you're doubting yourself, there's no reason you should be on the line anyways.
For Coach Burke, they scored 32 points in the fourth quarter, which is probably more than you would care to give up in any period, let alone the fourth. What do you think was happening there that enabled them to kind of get their offense going and get back in the game?
Yeah, I'm sick about that. Planned on going to dinner with my parents, now I can't because I'm sick. Just yeah. Just discipline, just biting one pass away, sucking in a little bit too much, driving kick 3, cutting somebody off on a lane line drive, and then they pump fake us and we go flying. You know, just like little controllable things that we can control and we will control from this point moving forward, because 9 times out of 10, you know, you're not escaping like we did today. You know, if we're going to rely on scoring 87 every night just to outscore opponents, then I don't think that's the recipe for success for us this year. But way too many points given up in the fourth. And fortunately, like, that was our best offensive quarter too, but it's usually not going to work out that way.
In the discipline subject, Mickey, you had the foul where you swung your arm into the player. Is that like a frustration thing where you just sort of shouldn't allow that to happen in that situation? Or
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes,
Mickey's a dog.
yeah, sometimes the dog comes out a little too aggressive, and you know, sometimes I need to tone it back a little bit. But I apologized to the ref and told him, like, you know, it was just one of those things. Like, I'm just playing hard, really.
I think it's more so a weight room thing. You know, Mick's real strong. She ain't have no intent behind it.
How much of a concern are the fouls, especially on your starting guards, and how much time they have to spend out of the game?
A big concern, because we're not, you know, the dynamic changes so much when Lonnie's not on the floor, obviously, but I thought we did a much better job handling her not being on the floor for a significant amount of time today than we did a couple games ago. So, like, I was happy with that, and but it's a big deal, specifically with Lonnie. No, like, just because the ball's in her hand so much and she's such a playmaker for others, like, you really see, I think, the biggest drop, not that she's better or worse than anybody else, but from just a pace and poise standpoint when she's not on the floor. But I do think we handled it much better today than we have previously to this.
Nora had the mask on today. Did she get hit in the face in practice, or?
Was it practice?
Yeah, it was practice.
Yeah. She caught an elbow in practice, so she'll be in that for a couple weeks, but she's good spirits. Yeah.
Addie played only 3 minutes, but it seemed like they were pretty productive minutes. She provided a little jolt of energy for you. How is she coming along?
Really well. I wish we could have played her a couple more minutes, but she was having some pain and needed to come out and see the trainer, and he wants to get a better evaluation of it before we threw her back in there. So hopefully she's ready to rock for practice on Friday, but we'll obviously see what happens. But she would have stayed in the game and went back in the game for sure.
For T and for Mickey, just the way that Lonnie shares the ball, there are several instances, especially in the second half, where she could have taken her own shot, but she made that extra pass. What does that do for you guys as a team, as an offense?
You want to answer? Okay, I'll answer. I feel like it really opens the floor for everybody. You know, she's the threat herself. Mickey's the threat. I can be a threat. So for her, just like sharing the ball, it like creates confusion within the defense. You know, it's like pick your poison at that point.
Yeah, I think the same thing. You have to guard her because she'll take you downhill, and then you got to guard the outside too. So it's kind of it's a lose-lose in some ways. But, yeah, that's just the type of person she is. Like, she doesn't care how many points she scores. Like, she had 20 today and still was sharing the ball, you know? Like, she doesn't care, and that's just the type of person that you like having, like, on the floor with you.
Coach was talking the other day about you maybe falling away on your shot a little bit. Did you work on that in the last few days, and how do you develop that feel?
Yeah, she was telling me this week in practice, like she told me the other day, like you were fading, and like, so I kind of like focused more on like getting my feet under me and, you know, just holding that form, and it worked well for me. I was shooting good in practice this week, and I felt like it was going to be a good day today, and it was.
Talked a lot about, after the last loss, about improvement, seeing improvement and working on that and taking that positive. I think that improvement, especially in sharing the ball, in finding the cutter, and kicking it back out, has been tremendous moving forward through this. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, the ball's not sticking anymore. It's moving, like you nailed it. Like it's going one more. It's going inside out. It's just sharing and trusting the next action and trusting your throwbacks on ball screens, and when we throw it back, having a plan with what we're going to do with it. So it's all things that we've been working on a ton in practice, and you know, ultimately them going out and trying to do exactly what we execute in practice, which I'm super proud of. But as you could just tell from the assists and them sharing the ball, and I think made threes, we're seeing more threes go in because it's moving more and it's going inside out. I think all of those things, you know, I'm scoring 87. It doesn't come from just playing ISO ball, and that's not going to be our best offense this year.
For any of the players, did you notice the kids during the game screaming, the energy, and what was that like?
Notice the kids. I mean, all that screeching, how can you not? That's all you hear. I know, like, there's a lot of elders that didn't come today because it was Kids Day, you know? I'm sure it would have hurt their ears. They're pretty hard to miss.
This is for you guys. What does a win like this teach you guys as you get closer to Big 12 play?
I feel like the main thing for us is keeping the lead. You know, I feel like we can get like lackadaisical in a way, you know, and other teams, they're not going to quit, you know, no matter the lead. So they're going to keep pushing, and we got to keep pushing as well. We got to start like creating bigger gaps and keep going till the buzzer go off. You know, like I said, I feel like that's the biggest thing we need to work on and learn from during these games is just keeping the lead and keep pushing it.
Second question would just be to Becky. How do you now feel about like a win like this, and especially when, like, you know, you guys had the momentum tonight and you almost lost it, but you found a way to push through and win towards the end. How does a win like this view you guys and also like get you ready for the next game?
I mean, we like I kind of said in the beginning, it's I'm happy about any wins. Like I don't care name brand, rival, nobody. Like a win is a win. We are going to take it, celebrate it. Obviously, be constructively learning from each win, and there's always things you want to clean up and improve on. But the theme this week was we've lost 2 straight, whatever it takes to win this basketball game. And so, you know, we did that, and so ultimately I couldn't be more excited about the outcome. You know, a win is a win. It shows up as a W and on the website and in my heart, and that's all I care about.
For Coach, what do you think makes T a good rebounder?
The pogo sticks in her
Right.
legs. I mean, holy cow. I'm just like astonished by this kid every day from an athleticism standpoint, and I've played with and against and coached a lot of them, but
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, she's
Tanny casually just
Yeah.
touches rim every practice. Like, just casually just jumps up there. So, and we're just
Yeah.
like, okay, Tanny, you come back down. Like,
yeah, and the kid like loves the weight room. I mean, she just like she puts in the work too. I'm sure that genetics are a huge factor, but I mean, it's not for lack of work and work ethic as well. So yeah, she's just an elite athlete for sure, and a want to and a will and a competitive nature. Thank you guys.